Like a garden snail leaves a trail behind, a story snail leaves a tail behind. Share our stories and you may find you can tell a story too.
Hello everybody! It's a really special time of year at the moment. It's harvest time. I wonder if you and your teachers are doing something to celebrate. So today's story is going to be about harvest, but it's also a really special day today. Did you know that here in the UK, it's National Poetry Day today? So I'm going to make sure that some of this story is in poetry. And when I get to that bit, I'd love for you to help me. But before I begin, I wonder if you've ever heard the phrase, waste not, want not. Has anyone ever said that to you? I wonder what it means. I think it means that if you don't waste something now, then you won't want it later on. And that phrase is really important for this story, because the story starts in a place called Grey City, where people used to say that to each other all the time. So can you help me to be the people in Grey City? And when I say waste not, want not, can you whisper it back to me like this? Waste not, want not. Shall we give that a try? Are you ready? Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. And the reason that the people in Grey City used to say that to each other all the time is because the food in Grey City was brought into the city in lorries and vans, full of packets and tins and cans. The people didn't really know exactly where it came from, and so they were always really careful not to waste any of their food. They used to say to each other, waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. And the water in Grey City didn't come out of a tap like it might do for you and me. That was brought into the city in the vans as well, in great big bottles. And so people were really careful not to waste their water when they were drinking or washing. They'd say to each other, waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. And because the people in Grey City had to spend money on all of the food and all of the water, they worked really hard all the time, and they didn't have any time to waste playing around. If any of the grown-ups ever saw any of the children having too much fun, they'd say to them, waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Now, in Grey City, there were two sisters called Molly and Millie. And one day, Molly and Millie went down to the vans as they were delivering food, and Molly said to one of the van drivers, where do you get all of the food from? Oh, don't you know, said the van driver, the food comes from the country. We collect it and we bring it into the city. Well, Molly and Millie thought that the countryside sounded like a marvellous place. Imagine somewhere that had so much food they could put it all in vans and send it somewhere else. So Molly and Millie decided to go and visit the countryside and see whether it would be a nicer place to live than Grey City. So they set out and they walked all the way out of the city. And as they came into the countryside, with the open blue sky above them and the green fields all around, it seemed like a wonderful place. But the further they walked, the more they saw people behaving rather strangely. First of all, they walked past a farmer who was in his tractor making pretty patterns in the field. He was driving backwards and forwards, until he left swirls in the soil. Now Molly said to Millie, hey, Millie, look at that. That man is just making patterns in the soil. He's wasting his time playing around instead of working hard. We wouldn't do that in the city. And she called out to the man, hey, you, stop wasting time. But the man looked out from his tractor, smiled at Molly, and he said, waste not, taste not. That sounds a bit different, doesn't it? Did you spot the difference? Shall we try saying that version? Are you ready? Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not? That's absurd, said Molly. That's not what I've heard. Oh, that rhymed, didn't it? It's like a little bit of a poem. I think we must have got to the bit with poetry. Are you ready to help me? I'm going to say the next line, which is, here in the country, they throw time away. And then you're going to be Molly and say, I'm going back to the city of grey. Do you want to try that line with me? I'm going back to the city of grey. Let's try those two rhyming lines together. Here in the country, they throw time away. I'm going back to the city of grey. Now it's Millie's turn to talk. And Millie says, no, stay here with me. And then I'd like you to say, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Shall we give those two lines a try? No, said Millie, stay with me. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. So Molly agreed to wait a bit longer, and the two girls carried on walking. The next thing they saw was a little house, and outside the house, in a pretty garden, there was a woman with a watering can. She was pouring the water straight down into the bare soil. Hey, said Molly, Millie, would you have a look at that? She's just pouring water away into the ground. We would never do that in the city. And she called out to the woman, Oi, you! Stop wasting your water like that. But the woman smiled, and can you guess what she said? Are you ready? Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not. Waste not, taste not? That's absurd, said Molly. That's not what I've heard. Are you ready for your bit again? Here in the country, they throw water away. I'm going back to the city of grey. No, said Millie. Stay with me. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. So Molly agreed to wait a bit longer, and the two girls carried on walking. And after a while, they came across another farmer in a field, this time with a sack over his shoulder. It was a sack full of potatoes, and as he was walking along, he was taking a potato from the sack and burying it deep in the soil. And Molly said to Millie, Oh, look, that's the last straw. Would you look at that? He's burying food. We would never do that in the city. And she called out to the farmer, Hey, you! Stop wasting food! But the farmer looked at Molly and smiled. You know what he said, don't you? Shall we try? Waste not, taste not. 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 That's absurd, said Molly. That's not what I've heard. Here in the country, they throw food away. I'm going back to the city of grey. No, said Millie. Wait with me. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But Molly said, I've seen enough. Life in the city may be tough. Life in the city may be grey, but we'd never throw food away. If Molly had stayed, she might have seen, in the spring, the shoots of green. If Molly had stayed, she might have known that seeds are sown, then food is grown. But Millie did not go away. She waited and saw Harvest Day. I hope you enjoyed that story. I wonder if you guessed what those three people were doing when Molly thought that they were wasting their time, their water, and their food. Have you ever planted a seed and waited for it to grow into something? Next time you have a meal, have a look at your plate and see if you know where all of that food came from. And don't forget to talk to your friends and your teachers about what you learnt from this story and what you enjoyed about it. It only remains for me to say happy harvest, and I hope to hear your stories soon. So, happy harvest, and I hope to hear your story soon.